Hi, I'm Richard, and in this quick start video, I'm going to show you how to use K-Sketch's timeline controls to make this animation of two asteroids colliding and breaking apart. Okay, let's start a new animation and draw two asteroids. Now, have a look at the timeline. You've probably figured out that time starts on the left and increases to the right. If you select something and animate it, you'll see this red stripe on the timeline. Any motions for your current selection will appear as a red stripe. If you look closer at this stripe, then you'll see these dark ticks at the beginning and the end. You can move these ticks to make motions faster or slower. If you press and hold the time slider when it's over a tick, this magnifier appears. When you see that, you can move the tick. If you make the stripe bigger, the motion takes more time, so it's slower. If you make the stripe smaller, the motion takes less time, so it's faster. Okay, I'm going to animate the other asteroid, and I'll give it a strange path just for illustration. First, notice that you can still see a lighter tick from the other asteroid. That's just for reference. When something is selected, you can only move its ticks. Now, I put this curve in the path to show you that when you adjust a motion, you get a tick at the time of the adjustment. This can give you more control over your adjustments, because bending only happens up to the previous tick. See here, when I adjust the end of this motion, only the second half of the path is bending. So what if you want to get rid of that tick in the middle? To do that, you have to move the time slider back to the tick and open the Timeline menu. You open the Timeline menu by pressing and holding the time slider for half a second and then releasing without moving a tick. Let's focus on the three buttons in the middle of this menu. The first inserts a keyframe, which we'll talk about in a later video. The second removes ticks and keyframes. I'll use this now to get rid of that tick I inserted earlier. See? It's gone. So what if you want to get rid of all motions? If you open the Timeline menu and press this button, then you'll clear all motions after the current time for the thing you have selected. See? The rest of the red stripe is gone. I'll undo that now because I'm going to show you another way to do this. Let's move to the time just after these asteroids collide. I really want them to disappear at this time, but you can see here that I was sloppy about this because I knew I would erase them at this moment. When you erase something, all motions after the current time are cleared. So, after the collision, let's draw an explosion. And let's make it very short, just one frame. That means we have to erase it on the next frame. But it's hard to move over one frame because the time slider snaps to ticks. When you need to move over just one frame, you can open the Timeline menu and use these buttons, back and forward. I'll move forward one frame now and erase the explosion. When I play, you can see that it flashes in and out very fast. Now, before I make the asteroid fragments, I want to show you these buttons. You can use these to jump between ticks, back and forward. If you get used to these buttons, you can work really quickly. I'll use them now to animate the four asteroid fragments. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pretty fast, right? The only problem is that all these fragments finish moving at different times, so the timeline is a mess. But there's an easy way to fix that. If nothing is selected, you can move all ticks, and the order of ticks is preserved. So I can grab the last tick, drag it to the left, and bunch up the other ticks. If I go even further, the ticks will stack up like this, because a motion can't take less than one frame. I'll release it over here, where the first fragment finished moving. Now all the ticks that I want are bunched in one place. So I can drag the tick over here to make all fragments stop moving when the last fragment stopped. Let's play and see what we've got. Beautiful! Give it a try yourself and let us know what you think. You can find out more at kssketch.smu.edu.sg.